Today we will discuss regarding PLC, timers and counters. There are several types of function blocks in ladder programming that implement logic operations, for example, and, or, not, logic function, etc. Then maths operations like addition, multiplication, etc. Then timers and counters. In the next slides, we will study different types of timers and counters used in PLC ladder programming. Now, first of all, we will see what is timers. So, timers are used to carry out tasks which involve time delay and time counting. A timer circuit is specified by stating the interval to be time and the conditions or the events that are to start and or stop the timer. They are commonly regarded as relays with coils, which, when energized, result in the closing or opening of input contacts after some preset time. A timer consists of an internal clock, then a count value register, and accumulator. It is used for some timing purpose. So you can see in a diagram the different elements of the timer. It consists of clock, accumulator, register, and contacts. So PLC timer definitions. So we will see the different meanings of the terms used in a timer. So first, that is timer. So it identifies the timer and the location of the timer information. So file type T4 followed by the timer number, which can be a value from 0 to 99. For example, T4 6. Then time base. The duration of time base interval, that time is incremented in seconds. So it can be 0.1 or 0.01. So a value of 100 would equal to 10 seconds with a time base of zero point 0.1 or 1 second with time base of 0.01. Then preset. So it determines the amount of time that must pass to activate the done, that is DN bit. DN means it is a done bit. So it is expressed in units of the time base. Then accumulator. So while the timer is in timing mode, so when the timing function it is activated, the accumulator increments in units of the time base. Then enable bit, that is called EN. So it is true when the timer input is true. Then done bit, that is DN. It is true when the accumulated time equals to the preset time. And TT, that is timer timing bit, when it is true while the accumulator is incrementing. So regarding the timer, so timers are devices that count increments of time. So example that is given in this slide. So traffic lights are one example where timers are used. In this example, timers are used to control the length of time between signal changes. So the timers are used to operate devices for certain period of time. So the PLC contains three types of basic timers. First is on delay timer, that is TON. Second, off delay timer, that is TOF. And third is pulse timer, that is TP. So the different parameters used in timer. So these parameters are in means it is input, and the data type that is used for in, that is input, is bool type. And the different memory area and the description is, that is in means start input. Then pt, it is a input and it is a time domain, and it is a duration of the pulse. The value of pt parameter must be positive. Then q is, that is output, that it is a bool type and it is a pulse output. And et means it is a output, it is a time domain, and it is a current time value, that is output, that is et. So the delay on timers or on delay timers, this timer waits for a fixed delay period before turning on. So when there is an input, the timer is energized and starts timing. After some preset time, the contacts associated with the timer close and then output occurs. So this is regarding the delay on timers or on delay timers. So you can see the ladder diagram for the timer. On the right hand side, you can see there is the input, then the timer, then the timer switch is given. So after some time, the switch will be on. After preset time, the switch will be on, timer switch will be on, and then output occurs. So this is regarding on delay timer. So after preset time, the output occurs, that is called on delay timers. So you can see the function. So that is represented in a block. You can see the different elements, that is in, pt, q, et, that we have already seen in the previous slide. So in and q, that is input and output, that is a bool type, and pt and et, that is in a time domain. So input in, it is a timer operation condition, and pt means it is a preset time. So that preset time that we have to give to the timer. Then output, it is a q, it is a timer output, and et, it is a elapsed time. After starting the timer, it will be shown the elapsed time on et. Now, when the input in changes from 0 to 1, means it is a on. When it is on, means it is changes from 0 to 1. The output q changes from 0 to 1. So you can see here the output q changes from 0 to 1 after a time interval set at pt. So this is a pt and the time interval, this is set. So you can see in, pt. So the input in changes from 0 to 1, means the it is a switch, it is started. The input, it is given to the timer. The output q changes from 0 to 1 after a time interval set at pt. During this interval, et outputs the elapsed time. So it will show the elapsed time. Et will be shown the elapsed time. If in is 0, that is close, before et reaches the preset time, the elapsed time becomes 0. If in is 0, means in is 0 after q is 1, q will be 0. So this is regarding the on delay timer. Example of on delay timer. So develop a ladder logic that will turn on an output. So output, it is a light. Output light 5 seconds after switch A has been turned on. So the preset time, it is 5 seconds, that is given to the timer, that is pt. Then in, so input, it is given to the timer after switching on the switch A, and Q will be the output. So that output occurs after 5 seconds. So this is an example of on delay timer. Another example you can see. So in this example, when input 10.3 turns on, timer T37 begins timing. So T37 has a time base of 100 microsecond, that is 0.1 seconds. The preset time PT value has been set to 150. So this gives 15 seconds delay. So 150 means 15 seconds. 150 into 100 millisecond means it is a 15 seconds. Therefore, 50 seconds after the 10.3 contact closes, the timer output becomes a logic 1, means timer will get started, and the output coil Q 0.1 turns on. If the switch opens before 15 seconds has elapsed, the elapsed time ET reset to 0. So this is another example of timer or on delay timer. So this timer, it is expressed by another way that is shown in this slide. So counts time based intervals when the instruction is true. So it is a Allen Bradley. When the time input is activated, there is a delay equal to the preset time before the done bit, that is DN, changes from 0 to 1. That is, DN is true when the accumulated time equals to the preset time. When the timer input is deactivated, the done bit changes back to the 0 immediately. So you can see at the right hand side there is a EN and DN. DN means it is a output, that is done bit. Then next type of timer, that is delay of timers or off delay timers. A timer which switches off an output after a time delay. So there is a output that is going on, and after reset value the output will be off. When the input contacts are momentarily close, the output is energized and the timer started. The output contacts latch the input and keeps the output on. After a preset time of timer, the timer comes on and breaks the latch circuit, so switching the output off. So this type of timer that is shown in the following ladder diagram that you can see. So there is a timer that is placed in between the input and the output. So it is a off delay timer. So it will make the output off after reset time by switching off the latch circuit. So the off delay timer is used to delay an output off for a fixed period of time after the input turns off. When enabling bit turns on the timer, so timer bit turns on immediately and the value is set to 0. When the input turns off, the timer counts until the preset time has elapsed before the timer bit is turns off. So this is a timer maximum values that is given, and the timer numbers that are given for the on delay timer, off delay timer. Then pulse timer. So the pulse timer that is shown in this slide, and in a right hand side the description for each element of the timer that is shown. So if in is changes from 0 to 1, q becomes 1 during the preset time, and if et reaches pt, you can see et means it is a elapsed time and pt means it is a preset time. So elapsed time it reaches to the preset time, q becomes 0 automatically. So elapsed time et increases when in is 1 and holds the value when it reaches pt, that is preset time, and becomes 0 when input is 0, means 0 means it is a off. It does not matter whether input is 0 or 1 while the output q is 1. Another type of timer, that is retentive on delay, that is TONR. So retentive on delay timer functions in a similar manner to the on delay timer. There is one difference. The retentive on delay timer times as long as enabling input is on but does not reset when the input goes off. The time or the timer must be reset with a reset instruction. So there is a difference between on delay and retentive on delay. So you can see the example of retentive on delay timer here. So the explanation of this ladder diagram that is given in this slide. Then next point that we will discuss, that is counters. So what is counters? A counter is a component used to count electrical pulses and store the results of the counting procedure. So the PLC counter instructions keep track of events. As it counts, a counter instruction compares an accumulated count value to a preset value to determine when the desired count has been reached. So counters can be used to start an operation when a count is reached or to prevent an operation from occurring until a count has been reached. So there are three types of counters used in PLC operation. First is up counter, that is CU. Second is down counter, that is CD. And third is up down counter, that is CUD. So counters that are used when there is a need to count a specified number of contact operations. There are two types, down counter and up counter. So down counter, this type of counter counts from preset value to 0 or present value to 0. That means events are subtracted from the set value, and when 0 is reached, its contact state changes. So it will stop. Up counter, it counts up to the preset value. That means events are added until the number reaches the set value. And when this is reached, its contact changes its state. That is, it will stop. So the counters used in PLCs serve the same function as mechanical counters. So counters compare an accumulated value to a preset value to control circuit functions. So control applications that commonly use counters include the following. First is count to a preset value and cause an event to occur. And second, cause an event to occur until the count reaches a preset value. Example, a bottling machine may use the counter to count bottles into groups of 6 for packaging. So the different elements of counter that is given. So digital counters output in the form of relay contact when the pre-assigned count value is reached. So the different elements are register, accumulator, contacts. So input and the output that is given and the reset. The counters are represented by boxes in ladder logic. So counters increment or decrement one count each time the input transitions from off, that is logic 0, to on, that is logic 1. The counters are reset when a reset instruction is executed. The counter uses the three types of counters: up counters, that is CTU, down counters, that is CTD, and up down counters, that is CTUD. So these are specified, that is shown at the bottom. So the count up, that is shown on a left hand side. At the middle there is a count down, and at the right hand side there is a count up or down, that is CTUD. And the different elements that are shown in a boxes, that is CURPV for CTU, then for CTD that is CD, LD and PV, and for CTUD CD, CU, RPV. So we'll see what is the meaning of that in the next slides. So up counter. So in a up counter, different parameters that are used, that is CU, RPV, QCV. So CU means it is a input. It is a bool type data that is used for CU, and R, that is for input. So CU means it is a up count pulse input. Then R means it is a reset input, and PV means it is a preset value. And output Q, that is up count output, and CV means it is a current value. Then up counter, that is PV, means it is a preset value, is the count value to be stored in the counter. Up counter CTU increases CV, that is CV means it is a current value, by 1 when input changes from 0 to 1, that is positive age. So when input it is given, up counter increases current value by 1, and output Q is 1 when CV is greater than PV. Means when current value is greater than preset value, then Q will be on. When reset input R is 1, CV is cleared, means it becomes 0. Current value becomes 0. So example of the counter program that is given in this slide. For the up counter that is given, you can see the ladder diagram at the right hand side, and how the counter it is connected in a ladder programming, that is shown. So regarding up counter, it counts up from a current value to a preset value. Then next type of counter, it is a down counter, that is CTD. The down counter starts its counts from a value PV, that is preset value. So PV, that is preset value, is loaded to current value using the input LD. Each time a positive edge occurs on countdown terminal, the CV is decremented by 1. So if CV is less than or equal to 0, Q turns on. So the down counter counts down from the preset value, that is PV. Each time CD transitions from logic 0 to logic 1. When the current value is equal to 0, the counter output Q turns on. The counter resets and loads the current value with the preset value when the load input is enabled. Then next type of counter, it is up or down counter, that is CTUD. So every positive edge on CU increment CV by 1 and CD decrement CV by 1. R means it is a reset the counter. LD means load CV with value PV. So different elements that are shown on a right hand side for the up and down counter. So the example that is shown for the up and down counter, a counter might be used to keep track of the atoms in an inventory storage area. So see the how it is connected in a ladder circuit, up and down counter. So in the previous slide, the counter C48. So you can see the C48 counter that is connected in a circuit or in a ladder is reset to 0 when contact 10.2 closes. So you can see the 10.2 contact. This could be triggered automatically or manually to indicate that storage location is empty. When contact 10.0 closes, so you can see the 10.0, that is a switch in a rung 1, that is 10.0 switch, it closes, the counter counts up by 1. This could be triggered by a proximity switch sensing that an atom has been placed in the storage location. When contact 10.1 closes, that is you can see in a rung 2, the counter counts down by 1. This could be triggered by a proximity switch sensing that an atom has been removed from the storage location. So when the accumulated count reaches 150, the counter turns on, contact C48 closes and output Q.1 turns on. This could trigger other logic in the program to divert new atoms to another location until an atom is removed from this location. So this is the explanation of this example. That is how that up and down counter that is used for the particular application. So that up and down counter counts up or down from the preset value. Each time either CD or CU transitions from a logic 0 to logic 1, and different elements that are shown in this slide. So the counter example, a counter might be used to keep track of the number of vehicles in a parking lot. As vehicles enter the lot through an entrance gate, the counter counts up. As vehicles exit the lot through an exit gate, the counter counts down. When the lot is full, a sign at the entrance gate turns on indicating the lot is full. So this is a ladder diagram for the parking lot that is shown. An explanation it is given here. A reset switch located at the collection booth has been wired to input 10.2. So in a rung 3, you can see there is a 10.2 switch. The parking lot has 150 parking spaces. This value has been stored in a preset value, that is PV. So you can see PV in a CTUD counter. So preset value is 150. The counter output has been directed to output Q 0.1. So output Q 0.1 you can see at the bottom. The output 2 is connected to a parking lot full sign. As cars enters the lot, the entrance gate opens. Input 10.0 transits or transitions from a logic 0 to logic 1. So 10.0 means it is a rung 2, incrementing the count by 1. As cars leave the lot, the exit gate opens. So exit gate, it is connected to 10.1, that is switch used in a rung 2. So input 10.1 transitions from logic 0 to logic 1 means it is turned on, and it will decrement the count by 1 for the exit gate. When the count has reached 150 output, Q 0.1 transitions from a logic 0 to logic 1. The parking lot full sign illuminates. When a car exits, decrementing the count to 149, the sign turns off. So this is a very good example that is given for the CTUD, that is up and down counter. So this is regarding the timers and counters used in PLC. Thank you.